Traditional IT troubleshooting courses teach you to reboot servers, replace faulty hardware, and reinstall software. But in a cloud-based environment, you'll have no access to these components. With Microsoft managing their own hardware, your troubleshooting skills need to evolve for the cloud. You might still be using traditional IT or a hybrid environment, or you might have already moved to the cloud. Either way, I'm going to show you some demos that pull all the pieces together, because as we move to the cloud, all of your troubleshooting tasks will be performed remotely using a web-based admin center. The majority of calls to a help desk are related to user account problems. Many calls are requests for password resets. However, when moving to the cloud, other potential user account problems need to be considered. And these problems are typically related to Azure Active Directory for Microsoft services. You can think of Azure Active Directory or Azure AD as the glue which connects users to services. It consists of a simple cloud-based database of users and devices, together with their associated permissions. It authenticates users, allowing them to access resources and applications using just a single sign-on. This means that they can enter their username and password once and access their resources. Many organizations will need to manage user accounts for both on-premises services and cloud services. Azure AD Connect is a tool that connects on-premises and cloud environments together, and it allows you to sync information from the on-premises Active Directory to the cloud Azure Active Directory. This is useful as it allows users to have a single hybrid identity that can be used for both systems. Although Azure AD provides simple but effective functionality, you may still encounter problems. The most common Azure AD issues are problems with missing users, licenses not being assigned. A user does not exist in Azure AD, and Azure AD sync issues. Let's take a look at each of these now in more detail. For a user account has not been created in the Azure AD, then the user will never be able to log in and cannot be assigned a license. They will not be recognized by Azure AD, and you'll see a user not recognized error when you encounter missing user accounts. There are several possible causes. For example, during a bulk import of users into Azure AD, some user accounts were not imported. The account was not created. For example, an account for a new employee, or the account was deleted by mistake. Another problem is a missing Azure AD license. If an Azure AD license has not been assigned, then the user cannot use Azure AD services, as they cannot be authenticated. Even if a user account has been set up correctly, without a license, any sign-on attempt will not succeed. The next problem of does the user exist in Active Directory is a problem related when using a hybrid system connecting Active Directory on premises to Azure AD in the cloud. Azure AD Connect is a tool that syncs only one way from on-premises Active Directory to the cloud Azure AD. If you created a user in Azure AD, they will not exist in Active Directory, and therefore the user will not be able to log in to any on-premises services. User account needs to be created in Active Directory. It will then sync to Azure AD and work correctly for both systems. Our last problem is another Azure AD Connect issue. You may experience problems where objects are not being synced correctly. For example, you may have data or object type mismatches, or you may experience problems with duplicate attributes. For example, two different objects with the same name. There are several troubleshooting tools that you can use to resolve such problems. These include the Azure AD Connect Wizard. You can use PowerShell on your Azure AD Connect server to start the wizard and then troubleshoot object synchronization. Another tool is the Azure AD Connect Health, which allows you to monitor and manage the health of the sync process.